God Defended New Zealand by Thomas Bracken. This patriotic poem, written in 1876 by Thomas Bracken, has become the national anthem of New Zealand. Bracken's stirring words evoke the natural beauty and pride of the island nation. Analyst of the poem, God Defended New Zealand. Patriotic roots. Thomas Bracken poem, God Defended New Zealand, was written in 1876 and became the country's national anthem in 1940. It expresses deep patriotism and pride in the natural beauty of the land. Poetic structure. The poem follows a simple ABAB rhythm scheme, giving it a melodic quality well suited for a national anthem. The repetition of key phrases like God defend our free land reinforces the patriotic sentiment. Lyrical imagery. Bracken uses vivid imagery to paint a picture of New Zealand, rugged landscapes from the mountain grain to the rolling plains. These natural elements are personified, evoking a sense of the land as a living, breathing entity. Spiritual undertones. The poem invokes divine protection and blessings, reflecting the cultural influences of Christianity in New Zealand, at the time referencing to God and the sacred shrine. Imbue the lyrics with a spiritual dimension. Literary devices. Repetition. The poem makes heavy use of repetition, particularly in the chorus, which drives home the patriotic message and evokes a sense of unity and strength. Vivid imagery. The author paints a vivid picture of the natural beauty of New Zealand, using descriptive language and poetic devices to capture the grandeur of the landscape. 3. Religious symbolism. References to God, divine protection, and spiritual themes infuse the poem with a sense of divine providence and destiny for the nation. 4. Emotive language. Bracken's use of emotive words and phrases such as defend and ever glorious stir the reader's patriotic feelings and sense of national pride. Examination of the poem's themes and symbolism. Patriotism and national identity. The poem's central themes revolve around patriotism and the notion of national identity. The repeated invocation of God defended our free land underscores the divine protection and the sacred nature of the nation. Spiritual devotion. Bracken incorporates religious imagery and symbolism such as God defend and thy choicest gifts in the story, hinting at the spiritual devotion underlying the national pride. Pastoral imagery. The poem's pastoral imagery, including green hills, fertile plains, and lovely landscape, invokes a sense of New Zealand's natural beauty and the land's importance to the national character. Comparison of God Defend New Zealand to other patriotic poems. 1. Themes of nationalism. God Defend New Zealand shares common themes of patriotism and national pride found in many other renowned patriotic poems, such as the Star-Spangled Banner and Rural Britannia. 2. Use of symbolic imagery. Like other patriotic poems, God Defend New Zealand employs vivid imagery and symbolism to evoke a sense of national identity, using references to the natural landscape and religious imagery. 3. Poetic structure. The structured rhyming verse of God Defend New Zealand is similar to the poetic forms found in classical patriotic anthems from around the world, lending a sense of timelessness and tradition. Themes. Patriotism. The poem's central theme is a deep love and devotion to New Zealand, expressed through powerful imagery and a call to protect the nation. Spirituality. Religious language and symbols such as the invocation of God reflect the poem's themes of faith, divine protection, and the sacred nature of the homeland. Peace and strength. The poem juxtaposes themes of war and peace, calling for divine intervention to defend the nation while also celebrating its in-heart strength and resilience. Connection to the wars. Wartime sacrifice. Similar to the themes of sacrifice and duty to one's country, the war's God Defend New Zealand evokes the bravery and hardship of soldiers fighting for the nation. Devastation of conflict. Both works grapple with the harsh realities of war, depicting the destruction and sorrow war brought up upon the land and its people. Patriotic sentiment. The fervent patriotism and national pride expressed in God Defend New Zealand mirror the strong sense of identity and duty to one's country found in the wars. Themes of war and peace. Conflict. The poem reflects the harsh realities of war, with soldiers fighting to defend their nation's sovereignty. Peace. Amidst the violence, the poem also emphasizes the desire for peace as the nation calls upon God to defend and guard the land. Duality. The poem explores the delicate balance between the necessities of war and the longing for a peaceful, harmonious existence. Patriotism and national identity. Patriotic symbols. The poem God Defend New Zealand is filled with powerful patriotic symbols like the national anthem, the land and the peoples embodying the nation's unique identity. Unifying the country, the stirring lyrics and arousing melody of the anthem have the ability to unite New Zealanders, fostering a sense of shared purpose and national pride. Timeless appeal. Even today, the poem continues to resonate with New Zealanders, serving as a timeless expression of their love for their country and its defining values. Cultural significance. Beyond its patriotic themes, the poem also reflects the unique culture and natural heritage of New Zealand, capturing the essence of the nation's identity. Use of religious imagery. Symbolic imagery. The poem employs religious imagery such as the golden cross to represent the divine protection and spiritual guidance that New Zealand seeks from God. Invocation, divine aid. The poet calls upon God to defend New Zealand, evoking a sense of heavenly intervention and divine providence for the nation. Blending of faith and patriotism. The religious imagery in the poem seamlessly integrates New Zealand's Christian heritage with its national identity, creating a powerful synthesis of faith and patriotism. Literary devices, repetition, and imagery. Repetition. The poem uses repetition of key phrases like God defend our free land and God guard New Zealand to reinforce the patriotic message and create a sense of rhythm and emphasis. 2. Religious imagery. Bracken incorporates religious imagery such as references to God and divine protection to evoke a sense of spiritual connection to the nation and the divine right of its people. 3. Vivid imagery. The poem paints a vivid picture of the natural beauty of New Zealand and using descriptive language about the rolling hills and sunny ocean bays to create a sense of national pride and connection to the land. Moral responsibility and leadership. Moral responsibility. Leaders have a moral duty to guide their people with integrity and wisdom. They must make tough decisions that balance the needs of the collective with individual rights, leading in times of conflict. In times of war and unrest, leaders must demonstrate unwavering courage and conviction. They must inspire their troops to fight for a just case while upholding the principles of honor and ethics. Serving the people. The true measure of a leader's worth is how well they serve the needs of their people. Effective leaders prioritize the well-being and aspirations of the community over personal gain or political agendas. The ideal versus the real. Ideals. The poem expresses lofty ideals of faith, peace, and national pride, painting an aspirational vision for New Zealand. Reality. However, the realizations of war, conflict, and human fatality are also acknowledged, creating a tension between the dream and the lived experience. Balance. The poem seeks to find a balance between the ideal and the real, honoring the nation's noble aspirations while recognizing the challenges it faces. The role of nature, connecting to the land. The poem God Defend New Zealand by Thomas Bracken celebrates the country's national beauty and the deep connection its people have to the land. The imagery of majestic mountains, rolling hills, and pristine rivers evokes a sense of reverence for the natural world. Symbolic significance. The references to nature in the poem serve as powerful symbols of New Zealand's identity and values. The resilience of the landscape mirrors the resilience and determination of the nation's people who must navigate the challenges of war and adversity. Faith and doubt. Grappling with the divine, the poem grapples with profound questions of faith as the narrator struggles to reconcile their devotion to God with the harsh realities of war and suffering. Conflicting emotions. Moments of fervent prayer and plea for divine protection are juxtaposed with expressions of doubt, uncertainty, and even despair in the face of adversity. The search for meaning. The poem explores the universal human need to find purpose and meaning even in the midst of chaos and tragedy, as the narrator seeks solace and guidance from a higher power. Sacrifice for a greater good. Selfless dedication. The poem highlights the willingness of individuals to make personal sacrifices for the greater good of the nation, embodying the spirit of patriotism and civic duty. Heroic vigilance. The poem's imagery evokes the brave guardians who stand watch over the country, ready to defend its freedoms and values at any cost. Uplifting resilience. The poem's call to defend the nations suggests an unwavering determination to overcome adversity and emerge stronger by a profound sense of purpose and unity. Conclusion. In conclusion, the powerful poem God Defend New Zealand by Thomas Bracken stands as a testament to the nation's enduring spirit through its poignant imagery and themes of patriotism, faith, and sacrifice. The work has become a cherished symbol of New Zealand's identity. Thank you for listening to my presentation.